Good morning, everybody. It's 10 a.m. Staying on longer here for you as we deal with the blizzard of 2012. Taking a look right now at Post Road. Look at the road conditions. This is just one example of what you are going to be dealing with if you try to head out.
Yeah, we are in the thick of things right now. Boy, if you have to be outside at all today, if you have been, you know how treacherous it is out there. I can tell you from a first-hand perspective how nasty it is out right now. And if you don't have to be outside, don't have to be. We've got travel advisories in place all over central Indiana.
We're going to be updating all of that, but right now we want to get right to Jennifer Ketchmark, who is kind of updating the snow totals right now. What we're seeing right now, Jennifer.
Well, we actually just got a report in from the National Weather Service from Switz City there in Greene County. Officially 12 inches of snowfall. Yes, that is 1 foot on the ground, and obviously the numbers continue to come in today. If you have a snowfall total you would like to share, take a picture of it from your front yard or side yard or wherever you can to not be affected horribly by this blizzard, and post it on our Facebook page, through Twitter. Let us know how much snow you're seeing out there, because you are our eyes in the field with this system. Live Guardian radar this morning continues to show ongoing heavy snowfall here across all of central Indiana. Any of that wintry mix is no longer a problem out there. Here's the thing, though, to look at. I'm switching this over to rainfall mode, and for a good reason. This is actually a better way to look at where some of the heaviest snow bands are actually developing out of this system. And as you can see, stretching from Shelbyville into the Franklin area and even over a little bit more toward Rushville, this is where we have a much heavier snow band that has set up here over the last couple of hours. And this is where we are going to see some of the most intense and more of those higher snowfall numbers coming in from the system. And this is also where we're going to have those very low visibilities coming in. Winds as of right now, basically 22 to 25 miles per hour, gusting up closer to around 30 miles per hour, and that is instantly going to drop down the visibility. I mean, granted, even whenever we only had about 2 or 3 inches of snow on the ground here in Indianapolis, you still had the high wind, and whiteout conditions were being produced ever so quickly. And well, you can see it's happening right now, still downtown through our Racecam and Tower Cam, where little to no visibility is available out there. And here are some of the official visibility readings here across central Indiana. Only about a half mile of visibility for Peru. Here in town, a quarter mile of visibility. Bloomington, about the same thing being picked up this morning. So those snowfall numbers will continue to come in, and we will obviously be bringing you the very latest on this as we go throughout the morning. But this is still a very large storm, a very significant low pressure system that continues to move to the northeast, and we are still hours away from any of this ending. Snow will still potentially be falling through 5 o'clock this afternoon. Your blizzard warnings will still be in effect, so keep your TV tuned right here to Fox 59 for the latest numbers on this storm as they continue to come in. And now, Bill Ramika.
State.
Yeah, we have some great video, too, Bill, that we'll play here shortly of that 40 cars stuck in the snow there. And again, talked to the sheriff just moments ago. He told us that they will be stuck there for at least 2 hours likely. And he actually said, Bill, 40 now to 60 cars stuck there on the roadway. So keep that in mind. We're going to take you outside. Yvonne Mann on the south side there, right in the middle of the snowstorm, really showing us what it's like right now. Yvonne?
Yeah, Angela, you mentioned 60 cars now. That is just pretty shocking just to hear that. I just keep getting tweets, people telling me that seeing me outside, just showing you how bad it is right now, makes them want to stay inside. And that's what we really want to tell everybody right now. Just take a look outside. Traffic has slowed down again. Now these whiteout conditions are continuing to get pretty bad out here. The wind actually has died down a bit. We might have been just standing here for a little bit too long, but it really has died down a bit. But we definitely get some gusts here and there that really does blow to everywhere. So visibility still at a low. If you are going to be driving on these interstates, definitely slow down, push on those brakes. And if you really need to stop, feel free to stop. We have plenty of cars that we saw in this overpass here in the last couple hours that have taken breaks here and hoping that things let up a little bit. But that's the latest here from the south side. We're live here. Yvonne Mann, Fox 59 News.
All right, Yvonne, thank you very much. Yeah, whiteout conditions, Ange.
Yeah, well, Ray, Michael Hendricks started in our 4 a.m. hour this morning near the Edinburgh outlet, which we're getting email from people asking, is it open? It's closed. We're going to talk to him, though, live via Skype now because the conditions are so crazy there. Michael, how is it right now?
Oh, good times here in Edinburgh. We're here on US 31, and the snow is really coming down. It's been coming down since about 3:40 a.m. If you take a look at US 31 here off I-65, you can only see US 31 because visibility is so bad. That I-65 overpass down behind us, probably not more than 100, 150 yards, something like that, and you just absolutely can't see it. It's like Field of Dreams. These cars are just disappearing into the yonder. If you look down here, you get a feel for not only what we've been doing. I wrote the word fox here in the snow, but also look at my footprint here. You can see just how deep it is. This is a significant snowfall. This is just one spot here. My entire hand length here, 6, 7 inches, something like that. At certain points you measure it, and you get up to 8. And of course, the wind is blowing so hard that some of these totals, may be affected by snowdrifts and where the wind's blowing and everything like that. We'll continue to follow it. Just to note, though, the emergency officials we spoke with in Bartholomew County here say there have been no major incidents, several slide-offs and minor accidents, but nothing major, nothing that involved a serious injury. So we're happy to report that much right here live in Edinburgh. Michael Henrik, Fox 59 News.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. I was on the road about an hour ago, and really surprising to see exactly how many cars are out on the road here, with places to go and places to be, and they feel like, I've got to get there, but boy, it is treacherous out there.
Well, a lot of the email that we're getting are people saying, my boss is saying I need to go to work.
Right.
And should I go to work? I'm like, well, there are, yeah, if your boss is saying you need to go to work, you need to go to work. So keep that in mind. We're going to give you some more live pictures right now as we take a look at one of our NDOT cameras this morning. Obviously, this is from high above the sky, but still gives you an idea. This is what some of the visibilities do look like, though. When you're trying to drive, our big boss is in this morning. Larry DeLea is saying, hey, you can't see 3 to 4 cars in front of you. Keep it in mind and be safe. All right, giving you an idea here of what some of the roads look like. It just really depends on where you are, but in some places there are a lot of folks out trying to get to destinations right there. Work being one of them, and if you can call ahead and talk to them and say, hey, it's not safe, do that, because again, we're getting some snow emergencies. Franklin is one of those, and we'll chat with our BAM Chase team who's in Franklin coming up.
Yeah, snow emergency. There are places like Bloomington, Brown County. They are reporting a foot of snow there, a little lighter than that as you track a little bit northward. But let's go to Hamilton County right now in Fishers. We want to talk with Ron Lips with the Fishers Fire Department to give us a glimpse of what you are dealing with, what it looks like right now. Ron, good morning.
Hello there.
Tell us, first of all, set the stage here. We know whiteout conditions have sort of been the case everywhere we go. What's it like in Fishers right now?
Right now, I think we're in a lull here at the firehouse, but it has been coming down pretty quickly. We still see traffic moving along. We got 43 plows out on the streets maintaining our streets. And so far, the only thing we've had to deal with on the police side so far is just slide-offs on the interstate.
Yeah, you mentioned the police side, but in this kind of case, you obviously don't want to get out in a fire situation too. Has that been quiet for you all, and what do you all do to prepare when you all have to get out in this kind of mess with those fire trucks and police cars?
Well, we have our emergency operations center set up, and we have representatives from Public Works in here. So typically what happens is we get something where we have to get to a place that maybe snowed in. We will coordinate with them to get plows to help clear the way for our trucks to get where they need to get to.
Ron, what kind of calls have you been getting from people that are out in their home? You mentioned the slide-offs here, but what's the biggest focal point for you right now?
Well, right now it's been fairly quiet, and hopefully it stays that way. And it kind of depends on what folks do for themselves, and hopefully they'll take our advice. And if they're on the road now, get off the road as soon as they can and stay home if possible. And just have a safe day and keep it quiet for us.
What is the volume like for you out there right now? I mean, do you see a lot of people that are taking your advice and staying home, or are they out and about, and what's your advice to them?
Well, looking out the window at 116th Street now, I see an awful lot of traffic going back and forth out there. So I don't know how many folks are actually taking advice. I think we're fortunate so far. Our Public Works Department's been pretty able to keep up with it, but I think it's going to be safe to assume at some point as the storm keeps going like it is, it's going to overwhelm us for a little while.
Ron Lips, we sure do appreciate it again with Fishers. We appreciate your time and good luck today, and be safe.
Thank you. Take
You're
care.
welcome.
I have a feeling we'll be checking in with Ron throughout the day here. Jennifer Ketchmark in now to talk about where we are in terms of when this thing started and how much longer we have to go.
Well, the way things shaped up this morning, I mean, we had the very intense snow coming in, the winds coupled immediately, and we just had the whiteout conditions. Roads got covered within minutes in a lot of places. We're in the thick of it right now. We are at the height of the storm. We are more than likely not going to get out of some of the heaviest snow bands until after 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon before it starts to taper back, but not finish.
And some people, I mean, they already have a foot on the ground. I mean, several inches.
Yes.
So.
And it just continues to come down. I mean, the initial forecast called for areas up to 14, 15 inches. Guys, this is a reality.
Haven't seen that in a long time.
This is something that we haven't seen. A lot of people are referencing back to the blizzard of '78 for a very good reason.
I was 8 and I was here, so I remember. Oh my gosh, I remember very clearly. You couldn't get out of you had drifts that were going up over the houses, and you couldn't get down the streets.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, and you know, I'm happy to say that I'm at least glad the National Weather Service went with the blizzard warning, because it really does show you just how intense. All the conditions are there, and I think it sends a message that you really do need to stay home today. You really don't need to be out in this. So let's see what's going on out there. Let's check it out. Here's our live feed coming in today from BAM, and look at this. They are actually down in Franklin right now where there is a snow emergency. We will be speaking to Michael Clark from the BAM Chase team here in just a couple of minutes. This guy is definitely in the thick of it this morning as that snow continues to come down. Live Guardian radar shows snow everywhere in central Indiana. There is no more of that sleet threat outside. We are still seeing the very intense snowfall across every location that we have. Yes, you'll get into some bands that lighten up here and there, but there are still these very heavy snow bands that are developing. And you can see down more to the south, this is kind of the area that we are actually seeing some of the highest snowfall numbers coming in with this system, and where some of the snow emergencies are happening out there. Franklin being one of those locations, and look at that. It's just obvious that this is really a big event going on. What I want to show you though is we're switching this into rain mode only to show you where the intense snow is showing up. It shows up so much better in rain view versus snow view, but all of this is snowfall. As you can see, there are some heavier bands of snow being picked up, stretching from Franklin, where we have the snow emergency, through Shelbyville, all the way up closer to Cambridge. And there you can see, I mean, this is where you're going to likely get whiteout conditions, no visibility, snow just continuing to pile onto the roads. And even if there are plows out there, this is getting pushed back on your roads immediately. There is very little, I guess, decent travel ability out there. I mean, it's not even happening out there. Shelbyville to Fairland, look at that very intense snowfall still being picked up also through Morristown, the Carthage area, even Cambridge City, and up towards Hagerstown. So, I mean, this is just going to be an ongoing story here for several more hours. Crawfordsville and even getting closer to Rockville, still getting quite a bit of that heavy snowfall as well. Here are some of the reports coming in. Bloomington, 1 foot. Switz City, 1 foot. Nashville at 11 inches. Odin at 10. The international airport, sorry, Indianapolis won't fit all the way on my graphic right there, but we are up to 7 inches of snowfall here in town. Lafayette showing you the lighter end of things, only at 1.2 inches of snowfall. Just shows you how large the range in snowfall totals is going to be as this system continues to develop out there. Right now, though, in the city, it is 29 degrees with heavy snowfall still coming down. Winds are in from the northeast, north and northeast. So primarily you're going to see some of the worst blowing and drifting happening on any of our east and westbound roads, because that north wind is going to push it back over it ever so quickly and make any efforts being made by the snow plows obviously not all that effective, because it's just blowing right back on. Blizzard warnings are in effect, and they are in effect until 7 p.m. tonight. We still have the winter storm warnings as well up to the northeast and the northwest, and those are staying in effect as well until later on this evening, as this event is just still going on. Southern Illinois also being impacted by this, into portions of Kentucky and even going into northern Ohio, and this system will likely continue to make its way up toward the northeast and actually continue to bring even there the potential for a foot of snowfall as well. So winds coming in 15 to 25 miles per hour. They are still now officially gusting at 32 miles per hour here in town, 33 miles per hour in Columbus, and Bloomington at 26 miles per hour. That's your blizzard. The winds are what is creating the blizzard. It's dropping down our visibilities to less than a quarter mile across almost the entirety of the state, if not completely out. And it's also having damage to our temperature. It is 29, but it feels like 15, all thanks to that high wind out there. So right now, the heavy snow continues, especially south of I-70. By 11 o'clock, all area roads are expected to be heavily covered with little to no visibility, and the intense snow will continue from 1 to 3 o'clock this afternoon as blizzard conditions are being felt area-wide, and it's just best to stay in. Here are the potential snowfall numbers out there for today. Obviously, the higher pocket where we're already seeing 1 foot of amounts or higher coming in, that's still forecasted to be between 10 to 14, but locally higher amounts of 15 plus are not out of the question with this system. Well, Bill Ramika has been on this all morning as well. Bill, how are things looking out there on the interstate?
I was here this morning.
Yeah, we're going to look right now at interstate for you. This is Fishers area off of I-69. Again, a lot of people out on the roadways. We'll keep you updated because, again, as more snow falls and this amount of vehicles on the roadways, there are going to be more problems.
We're happy to see some snow here, but boy, to this degree here with
Talk
Indianapolis.
about a photo.
Yeah, you've got a photo.
Wow, we're going to see that one coming right up. A big pile up.
Okay.
That just came in.
Keep in mind that Indianapolis here, when the snowfall reaches a 6-inch or more total, the plows go to work on the side streets, so they should be doing that as we speak here. We've got much more to cover throughout central Indiana as the blizzard goes on this morning.
Alert.
And good morning, everyone. The day after Christmas, this is the video that we've been talking about today. Major problems on State Road 37. This is near Martinsville, where there were 40 to 60 cars stuck now on the interstate. This was because of a jackknife semi. We talked to the sheriff down there who said they're expecting folks to be sitting there for 2 hours, maybe longer.
So that is to the south. To the north, we've got a different issue that's happening on I-65. The southbound lanes at mile marker 179 are closed right now, just north of State Road 43 because of a crash there. So there's so much hazardous travel out there this morning here. 7 inches of snow has fallen so far in Indianapolis. That means that the snow crews will have to hit the side streets there. They'll bring in the contractors there that will hit those areas so people eventually can start to emerge from their homes.
And the Tippecanoe County accident we're talking about, too, is one that is injury. So we'll keep a close eye on that. We're going to be talking live with one of the public information officers coming right up. But we want to get you right over to Jennifer Ketchmark, who is really busy looking at all of the numbers and watching radar right now.
You know, it's a fluid stream of data coming in, all thanks to people like you at home today who are checking your snowfall totals in your backyard. We love it. Please keep sending us those numbers because we obviously don't want to get out to everywhere in central Indiana because it's dangerous. We are advising others not to be on the roads, and we're trying to be out there as little as possible just to make sure that we're also safe out there today. But here's what it looks like right now on Live Guardian radar. Look at that snow still covering the entirety of the state. Heavy snow more than likely will continue to fall through about 1, even 3 o'clock this afternoon, and it will take a very long time for this to let up and completely end, as we're still going to see snow bands available and ongoing for several hours of the afternoon. As you can see on here, though, I'm zooming in a little bit more to where you can see some of the darker blue colors. Obviously, this is where we are going to get some of the heavier snow out of this system, but turning it over to rain mode really does actually change the picture here. It gives you a much better idea of where the heaviest pocket of snowfall is coming down at the current hour. And also notice on rain mode, you can actually start to pick up where you're even seeing possibly some lulls in the heaviest precipitation. Although, granted, here in Indianapolis over the last hour, we got 3 inches of snowfall. Yes, that's 3 inches of snow in 1 hour's time here in Indianapolis. But notice, stretching from just north of Shelbyville through Knightstown and up through Newcastle, we are getting very intense snowfall still coming down. This is more than likely going to be more than 2 inches of snow in an hour's time coming down Hagerstown, just shy there of Moreland, Economy, and even Shirley getting a nice little healthy pocket of snow coming in at the present time. So the winds, they're a big issue this afternoon or this morning. They're going to continue to be an issue all day long. The winds are still out of the north here in Indianapolis at 23 miles per hour. So it's instantly pushing the snow right back on the roads that crews are trying to get out there and clear. Obviously, primary intersections are the ones they're working on to begin with at this point. Here are some of the more impressive snowfall numbers that are coming in. Bloomfield at 12 inches of snow along with Switz City. Nashville at 11. Edinburgh, just talked to Michael Henrik. He's reporting anywhere between 9 to 11 inches of snowfall out near the outlets. So very impressive numbers coming in just south of I-70. We had that obviously targeted on our snowfall map for the highest potential of snow. And folks, this is a reality. It's definitely coming in out there. Here's what it looks like right now on our Racecam and Tower Cam looking at downtown. The heavy snow continues to come down. Even the winds are blowing around our Tower Cam and dropping down visibility pretty quickly out there. But visibility here in Indianapolis, it just did improve a little bit. Notice, remember on the rainfall, I showed you where we're kind of lacking there in heavy snowfall. That is going to momentarily help visibility. It will not last very long. Columbus, your visibility is down less than a quarter mile. And do notice that this system's still very widespread, bringing heavy snowfall throughout the entirety of the state. And likely we are going to see the snowfall continuing well into the evening. Our blizzard warning, which is everything you're seeing there in white, it goes all the way up to Howard County. The blizzard warning is in effect until about 5 o'clock this evening. That is also the case for the winter storm warnings in our northeastern or northwestern zone, so ignore the time frame right there. But these are all in place for a very good reason, because the conditions, and really we are in the height of this system right now. This is the worst of it that's happening, and it is going to continue to be in that kind of heaviest snow, highest wind possibility up until 1, 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon, and we'll just continue to watch it out there. Another thing we're watching very closely today are the roads. We are hearing of a snow emergency being declared already in Franklin today, and more road conditions coming in every minute. Bill Ramika has been on all morning long. Bill, how are things looking out there as of right now?
We can't paint a perfect.
Ray.
We were on the phone a short time ago with Ron Lips from the Fishers Fire Department. We want to take you there now live. Our Dan Spieler is checking out conditions as they are right now. Dan, you with us?
Yeah, good morning, Ray. Slow going up here in Fishers, but better, I think, than in some other parts of our viewing area. We're right here along I-69 right now, and you can see the traffic is moving all right at this hour. In fact, here along the exit ramp here at the 116th Street exit, you can actually see the pavement. That's not been the case on some of those east-west streets. I've been out and about this morning on 146th Street, on 126th, and a lot of those were snow-covered. At the beginning of this morning, you know, things weren't so bad. There wasn't a whole lot of snow on the ground, and then it came down quickly, as Ron Lips may have told you a little while ago, and now I think we're in a little bit of a lull again up north. But still, you want to be careful out here. All the malls are closed. There's no reason to go out shopping or anything up this way. All the major malls up in this area, Hamilton Town Center, the Castleton Square Mall, those Simon malls, they're all closed this afternoon. Let's swing around this way, too, and show you headed up north on I-69 as we go further up this direction toward Noblesville and then up into Pendleton. That's really where we're seeing some rough conditions from what we're hearing from the state police. There were a number of slide-offs up by what used to be the 20-mile marker, now the 220-mile marker on I-69. A number of slide-offs, so slow going. You don't want to be out on the roads. They do have travel advisories up there by Madison County. Here in Hamilton County, I spoke with officials a little while ago. They say they're monitoring the situation. They're going to keep an eye on things, and if they have to issue any travel advisories or warnings later today, they will do that, and they'll let us know about the situation. 465, also a little slow. Our photographer, Dave Grove, as he made his way over here, said it was a little slow. One of our other photographers out that way just within the last half hour said traffic going west to east on 465 up on the north side was real slow. We've got some video of that we'll show you next time of what it looked like as you go out and about on I-465 this morning. Right now we're live at 116th and 69 in Fishers. I'm going to need some windshield wipers for the glasses. It's coming down again pretty good now, guys.
Yeah, Dan, thank you. We'll try to get you some of those. Let's give you some perspective, though, from Fishers to Edinburg. Michael Henrik is live in Edinburg this morning, where they've gotten a whole lot more snow.
Oh, yeah. The last measurement, we actually had to borrow a measuring tape from the Cracker Barrel folks here, who have been more than kind as we sit in their parking lot off US 31 and I-65. And I did a few measurements. A couple of them ranged in the 9-inch range, and one of them, and it wasn't an apparent snowdrift or anything like that, one of them went all the way to 11 inches of snow here in Edinburg, in Bartholomew County. It's really deep in certain parts. Here you see it's more in the probably 8-inch range, something like that, as I stick my hand in the deep snow here. And it is still coming down. The wind is biting. The snowflakes have changed composition a little bit. They used to be those big, fluffy, enjoyable ones, and now they're those ones that kind of sting on your face. And I'm not looking for pity here. I'm just trying to tell the story. They really are kind of they hit you. They really do. But yeah, this is something where in this county in particular, Bartholomew County, emergency manager said there have been no serious injury accidents. There have been slide-offs. Sure, there have been accidents because of a variety of reasons, mostly the snow and generally how people drive in it, but no major injury accidents in this particular area to report. They're happy to relay that to you guys.
Michael Henrik live out there in Edinburgh. The snow still falling pretty hard there. And again, I guess if there's an upside to this, this didn't catch anybody by surprise. Everybody knew for several days that it was coming here, and so far the power outages, except for Shelby County, seem to be pretty minimal at this point.
All right, right now we're going to give you a live look this morning at the Emergency Operations Center, where you've got a group of people there watching what's going on all over the state, including radar, talking to different local governments, etc. No big issues out of what they're dealing with. The biggest problem right now is that 40 to 60 cars that are stuck on an interstate near Martinsville. Another crash in Tippecanoe County where you've got semis all tangled up. We're going to show you photos of that coming up here quickly right after the break.
Welcome back to Fox 59 Morning News. We're going to be on the air through the evening hours here, covering this Blizzard 2012. Thanks for tuning in with us here. We've got you covered here throughout the day here, talking about the snowfall amounts, the windy conditions, and the trouble that we've seen on the interstates and on the state roads here. 37 big-time trouble here, and also Tippecanoe County, which saw personal injury accidents there connected to a semi that was on the road.
Yeah, you saw the video there. That was Boone County. And as you were just saying, we want to take you now to Tippecanoe County, where First Sergeant of the Indiana State Police, Brian Olahai, is on the phone this morning. Brian, we have some photos and maybe even some video of a really horrible crash that you guys are working. Tell me what happened.
Well, right now, this is a weather-related crash. We're working just north of State Road 43. Most people know that as the Purdue exit on I-65. Traffic is shut down at that location coming south. It is traveling northbound, but conditions in the area continue to worsen as we speak. The wind continues to blow. It's hard to tell which direction the snow comes from 1 minute to the next due to the changing winds. It's maybe not as windy as I thought it would be. Or as originally planned, but it is moving the snow around a lot. State Highway is doing a good job of keeping the snow knocked down and drifts knocked down, but this wind creates very hazardous conditions. And in addition to this crash, we're working several other secondary crashes as a result of this crash in the Tippecanoe White County area.
Sergeant, talk to me a little bit about how long you think it's going to remain closed in that area, and what is it like on the detours, because you've got to get people off on some of those county roads here, and how good a job are the plows and the snow crews doing trying to keep up with all of that?
But the plow crews, the road crews, both the county highways and the state highway department are doing a good job of keeping the roads open at this time. But those changing conditions really affect how well they can do their job, because it changes so quickly. Right now, our biggest problem is trying to remove the wreckage, because a lot of the wrecker services are stuck in the other traffic for this crash. Right now, we're sending stuff northbound in the southbound lanes from State Road 43 just because the road is closed. There are six to eight vehicles that are directly involved in this crash, or at least one crash, maybe two crashes that we're currently working at this location. The troopers are working that right now, trying to determine exactly what occurred. But we're trying to get people off on State Road 18 and then send them down State Road 43. Again, though, if you don't have to be out today, stay home.
Yeah, and Sergeant, we're looking at some of these pictures, and in one of them, I mean, the vehicle looks like it's halfway underneath the semi, and we know there are injuries. Can you tell us how serious these injuries are, if they are serious?
They are serious injuries. The subject was transported by local emergency services, and the Tippecanoe Township Fire Department also assisted at the location. The exact extent of the injuries I can't comment on, because I just don't have that information. But the subject was transported. I do not believe them to be life-threatening, but they could be life-changing.
I hate to hear that, Sergeant. We sure do appreciate that. And as you work throughout the day, pass on how much we appreciate how hard you all are working, because we really do appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Just remember, if you don't have to be out today, don't. And if 4x4 on ice does not make for good traction, it only multiplies your problems.
That's exactly right. A lot of people think, well, hey, I've got four-wheel drive, I'll just get out there. But when you're on ice or sleet, it doesn't make a difference. And
it doesn't really matter which county you're talking about here in central Indiana, because everybody is experiencing the same winds and the snowfall out there. The blinding conditions, the whiteout conditions, really a big part of the story here.
Let's bring Jennifer Ketchmark in now to talk more about the snowfall. Everybody wants to know totals. They're like, how much do we have on the ground already? What do you see?
We already have reports at a foot plus coming in. This is not done. The heavy snow is still falling in a lot of those locations, so those numbers they're not done escalating. So let's get right to it and check out what it looks like outside already. Here's our BAM Chase team. They've been actually down near the Franklin area for quite a while this morning. That's the area that's underneath the snow emergency and where people are encouraged to not be on the roads today. They're obviously being very careful out there. They're currently on the road between Franklin and Greenwood. And, well, there you see what it looks like. Very few cars out there on the road, and for a very good reason. Here's Live Guardian radar. A large swath of snow continues to cover all of central Indiana. There are going to be some pockets in here where your snow will get a little bit less intense, though the visibility really isn't going to increase all that much because you're still going to have a lot of blowing and drifting going on. But notice we've got a pretty decent band setting up now more in the western part of the state. Lafayette, you've been on the low side of your snowfall all day long. You were never really expected to get the massive amounts of snow like we are getting here closer to the city. Early reports have been just over an inch of snow at 1.2, though as this band gets a little bit closer, you better believe your snowfall amounts will start to go up. But the southeastern portion of the state is still where we've had the highest amount of snow coming in with this system and where it still continues. You can see those bands of snow coming down. There's Nashville, Edinburgh. That's where our Michael Henrik has been set up all morning long, and that's where he's actually been measuring about, on average, 10 inches of snow so far this morning. Switching it over to rain mode, though, helps us analyze and see where some of the heaviest snow, and in some places where you may actually be just getting a light snow versus very intense. So there you have the statewide in rain mode, though keep in mind this is all snow. It is a guarantee out there. Zooming in a little bit closer to the metro, you can see there are actually even some pockets here in town where the snow has really dropped down in intensity, although from the 9 to 10 o'clock through that hour of time, we had 3 inches of snow. That is an incredibly high snow rate that came in out of the international airport. Shifting though a little bit more into the East Metro and getting out closer towards Greenfield and Morristown, even Fordville, do notice the snowfall is still very intense along those corridors. Looking at US 36, 40, and 52, more than likely significant issues on those corridors along with I-70 and I-74 still ongoing. But zooming in toward Rushville, look at that very intense snow coming down even close to the Glenwood area as well. Martinsville still seeing a very intense area of snow. Remember, this is rain mode, but it is still snowfall that is being detected out there, and it will continue to be for several more hours. And here are the numbers. Bloomfield, 12 inches, along with Switz City, Greensburg, or Edinburgh, around 10 inches. The latest number from Greenwood just came in at 9 inches of snowfall. Westfield, meteorologist John DeSauer is up there today at 4.7 inches of snow. Castleton, 4.5 inches of snowfall. These numbers just keep going up. And the pictures that you are sending in today, they really put this into perspective. This is Bloomington. This was a patio set. It is now a snow mound that has been set up on somebody's back porch there. Nick Healy sending this in to us. And Nick, thanks so much. It just really gives you an idea of just how intense this has become out there. 28 degrees here, though, right now in Indianapolis with the ongoing snow. Winds still in from the north at 23 miles per hour. And yes, the blizzard warning is in effect right now. It will be until 7 p.m. tonight, though it looks like some of the most intense snowfall is ongoing now and will be through about 3 o'clock this afternoon, and then your snow intensity will start to drop down. Winter storm warnings still continue for the northeast and northwest zones and also in the more southern part of the state. Those still to be taken very seriously due to the limited visibility. This storm system rolls all the way up, at least the blizzard warnings, all the way into northern Ohio, and then the winter storm warnings pick back up, head off to the northeast, and well, let's just say this is still going to be a big system here over the next couple of days as this thing is nowhere near done. Winds continue at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Wind gusts are being picked up to 31 miles per hour here in town. Muncie at 32 miles per hour. So even if you haven't gotten a lot of snow quite yet, you're still going to see the very low visibilities. And if you live in Muncie, let's get a snowfall total coming in from that location. Send it to us on Facebook or Twitter. We'd love to see what your numbers are looking like. My tag is at @JCatchmark if you want to get that number into us. But visibility is going to be reduced out there. Temperatures, although they are in the 20s, feel like they are in the teens. So we are in the thick of it. By 11 o'clock, roads still completely snow covered across the state, and the snowfall potential is still going to go up because this large swath of activity still needs to continue moving through. Here's how Fox Futurecast paints it over the next couple of hours. By 11 o'clock, notice still widespread snow. You'll see some isolated pockets where the snow intensity drops a little bit, but notice still widespread snow ongoing through 3 o'clock this afternoon, and your snowfall potential is still up to 14 inches or more in spots.
Thanks a lot, Jen. And just got a bit of information here from Indiana State Police, who say right now they are dealing with a total of 103 calls for service so far this morning. 90 of those have been for slide-offs.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are asking, hey, do we have a state of emergency for our area? Places like Franklin, places like Greenwood, their mayors have now declared states of emergency for those cities. And then there are counties as far as Morgan County, where Bloomington is. They have also declared a state of emergency.
Monroe County.
Yeah, Monroe County, excuse me, thank you. And I know Morgan County, I do believe, has as well. So if you're wondering those kind of questions, we're going to be talking about that coming up here in just a minute.
Yeah, stay with us. More coverage to continue as we take a quick break. Back after this. And welcome back to Fox 59 Morning News. 10:53 is your time as we stay on the air, letting you know what's happening throughout central Indiana as the snow continues to fall, the wind continues to blow, and we are dealing with whiteout conditions. Not so much here on the northwest side here, but that has been the case, especially if you've had to travel. Hopefully you haven't, but if you did, you know that the conditions have not been very good.
Well, let's try to travel. Let's try to fly somewhere right now. More than 60 flights I know that have been canceled, at least trying to head out of Indy so far today, and that was even before 10 o'clock. We want to get right over to the airport, though, and hear more of that coming up in just a minute. But first, we're going to talk about things to do out in the snow today.
Well,
thank you.
All right, right now, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to get you updated and take you back kind of around the area live so you can see the snow falling now and get you an update on some of those bad accidents.
Stay with us. Back with more after this.